What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you step by step how to modify your rail to make this modification for your striker where you put the string on the other side. I was not ever expecting on making this video, but my rail that I made the first time came up with some issues, and I'm going to make a new rail just to have as a backup. One of the main errors that I did is I drilled this hole too close to the other one. And as you can see, if you drill the hole right here, you're not going to have a lot of material in the center. So you really want to drill this hole as close to the stock as possible. As you can see, I already marked where my stock ends, and I already marked the measurements of this. I'm not exactly too sure what measurement this is. I'll post it in the bottom of the screen. But yeah, you just want to make the hole as close to the stock as possible. So I did put some lines there with a ruler and everything to get the perfect measurement, and I just hit it with a hammer with this thing. So now all that's left to do is get the drill press and start off small and try to make this hole as small as possible to leave as much material as possible. Now there are 4 steps that you got to modify to the rail. The first one that you want to do is drill this hole. You got to replicate this hole back here, because you're going to be knocking off 2 centimeters back, and this hole is going to disappear. So you want to drill a new hole right here, the exact same size. And the other step is cutting off the 2 centimeters. And the third one is completely hollowing out this centerpiece. I'll show you guys once I get there in the video. And the 4th step is reopening these 2 holes right here where the riser goes. I would recommend definitely starting with drilling the hole, because this is the hardest part to do, and if you mess up, you could at least stop the whole process and still have a working crossbow and just use it normally. Just put this part, oh shoot, where did it go? Well, you could just put the sling mount right here and just use it normally, you know, just cancel the whole process. If you knock off the 2 centimeters first, or hollow out this part first, and then you mess up drilling the hole last, then your whole rail is screwed. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Drill this hole first. If you get this hole perfectly working and fine, you could continue on to the process, and you're most likely going to succeed. Now, some of the tools you're going to need is definitely a drill press. You want a drill press for this. Do not drill this hole by hand. You want it to come out perfect. You want it to come out exactly like this one. You need a drill press. You could even buy those cheap ones in Harbor Freight, which is what I did. And the second tool you need is a chop saw that could cut through aluminum. I don't want to spend the money on a chop saw, so I'm going to try to do this with an angle grinder. I'm going to try to cut the 2 centimeters back with an angle grinder. I'm not going to cut it fully to the 2 centimeters, just a little bit. And then I'm going to finish off the end with a belt sander to hopefully get that flat end, which sounds sketchy, but that's what I'm going to be doing to save some money. The third tool you need is these little files right there that I also got at Harbor Freight. And the 4th tool, I'll leave it up to you guys. You just need a tool that's able to hollow this out right here, just like how it is in this photo. There's many ways you could do this. You could do this by hand with a file. You could also use a mill if you want to. I'm going to try to use a Dremel and a file. We're going to see how that goes, which is what I did last time, but it just took forever. And yeah, let's get started on drilling this hole. You want to start off small and slowly make your way up. And this is how it came out. I think it came out really good. I did paint it a little bit too, but there is definitely more material on the center right here, more than there was last time. Last time there was hardly any material on there, which made it bend over time. So hopefully it does last me a bit longer, and I will be reinforcing it a little bit with something else later in the video. Just this one hole to drill took me probably 3 hours, because the drill press that I have, the table on it is not level. So I had to completely make it level. I even put a car jack down there to lift it a little bit and get it leveled. And the vise wasn't even the right vise to it. So I had to it just took a long time to get everything like exact, you know. But yeah, it did come out good. The reason why I don't do this for anyone, this modification for anyone, is because I've messed up on this reel before. One time I tried drilling the hole and it did not come out straight, and I just ended up using the rail for a regular crossbow. So that's the good thing. If you mess up on the hole, you could still use your reel normally. So that's why I recommend doing the hole first. The next thing to do is mark the 2 centimeter mark and cut it down. Now for this part of the modification, I really do recommend getting a chop saw and cutting down the 2 centimeters. But I'm going to try to save some money and not buy a chop saw, and I'm going to try to sand down the 2 centimeters off, which is sketchy. Definitely wear eye protection and a mask because it's going to be a lot of metal dust flying around if you're going to do that. I still don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So as you could see, I ended up just using my belt sander. I have really abrasive belts. I think it's 60 or 80 grit belts that are usually used for like metal work for the belt sander. I ended up using that, and once I got close to the 2 centimeter mark, I moved on to the round sander that you saw in the video. But yeah guys, so I cut 2 centimeters off. This is what it looks like in the bottom. And if you're going to be using a belt sander like I am, definitely wear glasses and a mask because it's a lot of metal that's just flying everywhere and breathing in. But next thing to do is to open up these holes right here. I already did one. This is where these files come in. Or if you have a Dremel, you could also use a Dremel. I'm going to be using that head right there. And for this hole, I did use the files, but for the second hole, I'm going to use the Dremel. So let's do it. Alright, so this is what it looks like installed. I think it came out amazing. It came out really flat and flush. This is what it looks like in the bottom. I did have to get another bolt for this, a smaller one, and they're not that hard to find. You can get them in Ransom Brothers, True Value, and they have a lot of those bolts for the Stryker. I did get a shorter one, just so you know. And I don't want to confuse you guys, but that last clip that you guys just saw of me making the holes on top of the rail, I filmed that back in July. It is now March of the next year and I have not, worked on this because all that's left to do is just completely hollow out this area for the new cables, and I'm gonna do that manually by hand with a Dremel and a file. And come on, I'm not looking forward to doing that. I just haven't done it for some reason. So you pretty much just have to hollow this whole thing out until the bottom of this. You see the bottom of right here, right there. You need to like hollow it out all the way down to there and make a groove all the way down to like the bottom of this hole, all the way from the beginning of this to the bottom of this hole. So I'll upload a video part 2 when I get to that, but I'm not sure when I will do that. So yeah guys, that's pretty much what I have done for now. I didn't want to have this video saved on my phone for I've had it saved on my phone for many months, so I'm just gonna upload it as a part 1. But yeah guys, I'll catch you on part 2.